Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Monica. I like to post anti-MLMs, that's anti-multi-level marketing, life, and some true crime content here on this channel. So if any of that interests you, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I would love for you to stick around. In today's video, I am bringing you anti-MLM content, so of course, just as a disclaimer, this video is for entertainment purposes only and just my opinions. I'm going to be bringing you some, I guess you can say, breaking news. We're going to have a little bit of a chit chat about this TikTok ban that a lot of anti-MLM advocates are talking about, along with an article that speaks about the decline of multi-level marketing, a 4X education MLM that has shut down, along with a new facility that Melaleuca has decided to open up in Kansas City. Hey guys, Editing Monica here. I just wanted to add that I've had a lot of people ask me to cover the Alexis Sharkey case because I cover both anti-MLM and true crime content on my channel, and Alexis was a Monate rep. I will not be covering this, at least right now, as I did want the family to grieve and have their privacy, along with, at the time of filming this, there isn't any evidence, but there is a lot of speculation. I do not want to be responsible for spreading misinformation about this case because this is a woman who was a daughter, a wife, and a friend to many, so we need to remember that she is a victim here and she does deserve justice. For now, what I will leave you with are phone numbers to call in case you have any information pertaining to her murder. So please call the Houston PD Homicide Division at 713-308-3600 or Crime Stoppers at 713-222-TIPS. I will leave those phone numbers linked in the description box. Along with this, while I was editing, another MLM related news update was brought to my attention regarding Herbalife and the Slimming to Death paper that was removed by the journal. I will discuss this a little bit later in the video and it will be in Editing Monica mode. So without further ado, let's start off with this TikTok ban because in case you have not heard, TikTok is updating their community guidelines and this update goes into effect on the 29th. So this month, this year, December 29th, 2020. They are going to start removing content that has to do with multi-level marketing, and this can be found under their frauds and scams community guidelines category that reads, "We do not permit anyone to exploit our platform to take advantage of the trust of users and bring about financial or personal harm. We remove content that deceives people in order to gain an unlawful financial or personal advantage, including schemes to defraud individuals or steal assets. Do not post, upload, stream, or share content that depicts or promotes phishing, content that depicts or promotes Ponzi, multi-level marketing, or pyramid schemes, content that depicts or promotes investment schemes with promise of high returns, fixed betting, or any other types of scams." Of course, this is a really great change to their guidelines, but this won't stop MLM companies from operating or promoting their company and products. It is great news, but this just means that there's going to be another obstacle for these MLM reps to overcome because it's one social media platform out of many. MLM companies have been around for a very long time, so they will always find a way or a loophole. That, or they will find another way to somehow change their wording or direct their followers to a link, whether it be something like Linktree or other social media platforms of theirs. They will start calling themselves, which we already see this in the MLM industry, but they can call themselves other names besides an MLM rep. A lot of them use the term influencer. Some of these MLM companies, their ranks are called affiliates, influencers, brand ambassadors. So this is a tactic that we've already seen be used, but is probably going to be used even more now. I'm sure some reps are already starting to worry, but at the same time, I can imagine that a lot of these uplines are scrambling and trying to ease everyone's minds because I'm sure there are a lot of people who are looking at this and they're starting to shake in their boots a little bit. So because, in my opinion, the MLM company doesn't care about these kinds of changes. They expect their reps to adapt to this new environment. In addition to that, the statistics show that MLM reps have larger platforms to sell their lifestyle on. However, TikTok does have a younger audience, which is what I've mentioned numerous times here on this channel before, and that is what is very concerning. A teenager might strive to be an influencer or strive to live this luxury lifestyle that some of these MLM reps portray on their social media. They might not be aware of the harms of MLMs, and I mean, even some adults my age and older are still unaware of the harms of the MLM industry. I was in my mid to late 20s when I joined the MLMs that I was a part of. We are going to take a look at some statistics. First, we'll look at TikTok's demographics. This article was written in November of this year, 2020, and this data was retrieved in June of this year. 32.5% of users are between the ages of 10 to 19, whereas 29.5% of users are between the ages of 20 to 29. That's a total of 62% of users that are under the age of 30, and from experience, I'm not gonna lie, I made some not so great decisions in my teen years all the way into my 20s. I'm still not perfect because no one is perfect, but I have learned a lot from those younger years, and in no way, shape, or form am I saying that adults older than me or even my age know any better and won't join an MLM, because we've seen people of all ages join MLM companies, which brings me to the statistics for the other age groups. 16.4% are between 30 to 39, 13.9% are 40 to 49, and finally 7.1% are 50 plus. While I was talking to Alonda over at the Recovering Humbot, she brought up a great point that I wanted to mention here. There are plenty of MLMs or MLM-like models or companies that really target younger adults and college students. These include companies such as Vector Marketing, Cutco, and these Devil Corp companies, along with, if we want to take a look at just Beachbody alone, a lot of their really high-ranking coaches started in their 20s who are at these, or at least showing on social media, these luxury lifestyle ranks. I guess you can kind of call them that. And I'll be honest, when I was in college, when I was graduating, I was targeted by a lot of these Devil Corp companies and Vector Marketing. That was something that, because they tend to hide what they really are, and they'll come up with these different fun, really appealing names for the position that you're applying for to get you into this interview. But yeah, I mean, as for other social media platforms, we're going to go over those statistics as well. And of course, the age groups are going to vary, but there are plenty of more users on other social media platforms where these reps can target to join their team. Looking at this graph that was created in July of this year, it shows that TikTok is nowhere near as big of a platform as others, such as Facebook, Instagram, which, if you don't know, Facebook owns Instagram, YouTube, etc. But that doesn't mean that they can't get to that level. If we want to take a look at Facebook and Instagram, if you notice the trends of these two different social media platforms, whenever another app is doing well and climbing significantly, they make an update. So for example, Insta Stories is a play off of Snapchat, and now Reels is a play off of TikTok. So even though TikTok is nowhere near the giant that is Facebook and Instagram, along with YouTube and the other social media platforms that you can see on this graph, it seems like Facebook has realized that there is a competition with TikTok. Another thing that I wanted to mention is, while these other social media platforms have more users, the algorithm on TikTok is in favor of their users. What I mean by this is, we see people constantly going viral on TikTok because the algorithm is nowhere near as annoying and frustrating as Facebook and Instagram. So that is something to take into account as to why this TikTok ban is incredibly helpful to what we are doing here in the anti-MLM sphere. As for the public, it is our duty to report these posts because TikTok doesn't know until it's reported. But again, don't forget, this goes into effect on the 29th. I can't help but do a little bit of a happy dance about this though, even though I know that this isn't the end of MLMs and things like that. I understand that, but I am a little happy about it. I hope that other social media platforms will follow suit, but I don't see this happening, at least for a while, because with the amount of ads that I see for MLMs or for these training courses for MLMs, that is a nice chunk of change that Facebook and Instagram would have to be willing to part with. Every day that I log on to social media, I almost rarely see any of the people that I clicked that follow button for to see all of their content. But unfortunately, instead of seeing some of these people that I followed for a reason, I'm seeing ads for these MLM companies or these training courses for network marketers and things of that nature. So I hope that eventually some of these social media platforms will follow suit, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. That's just my opinion. I may be wrong. Along with that, I'm not gonna lie, I'm smirking in a little bit of a petty way at the one rep who came to my TikTok months ago before I deleted the app and talked about how embarrassing my anti-MLM TikTok was, or TikToks, whatever you want to call it. So I'm not gonna lie, I am kind of, laughing about that a little bit. I'm going to have to re-download TikTok so that I can start reporting on the 29th as well. But I do hope that this can be a learning experience for some of these MLM reps, and even maybe an eye-opener to show that this is not going to be here forever. And a lot of people are starting to catch on. A lot of people are starting to, because the anti-MLM movement is growing exponentially every single day. So I truly hope that maybe some reps can look at this and really reevaluate if they want to continue to be part of the MLM industry. But we'll see what happens. The next topic I want to talk about is the decline of multi-level marketing. There was an article that was written by William Keep that Alonda over at the Recovering Humbot told me about, and I did see Josie from Not the Good Girl post this in her community tab as well. And as I said, it's about the decline of the multi-level marketing industry. The article begins with the discussion of how industries don't like to acknowledge when they are in a decline. As per the article, because of this denial of the decline, the industries, they just tend to puff itself up to look bigger than it actually is. The author of the article, William Keep, did make it a point to let the reader know that the data in the article came from the Direct Selling Association that I will refer to as the DSA for the remainder of this video, but that information remains unverifiable. According to William Keep, the puffed up part begins in 2018 and 2019. The DSA showed that in 2017, MLM participants were at 18.6 million and then increased to 36.6 million in 2019. But that 36.6 million was split into 26.2 million preferred customers and 10.4 million discount buyers. As all industry participants were in a single number prior to 2018, perhaps some portion of the 18.6 million in 2017 was not actually sellers, but only buyers. If so, then what are we to think about the 6.3 million direct sellers in 2019? Is the number of actual sellers increasing or decreasing relative to 2017? And where do the numbers for the preferred customers and non-selling discount buyers come from, since Herbalife is the only MLM company required to make this type of distinction per the FTC settlement? And most importantly, why do we not see a corresponding increase in retail sales reported by the DSA? I wish that every MLM company had to disclose how many of their reps are preferred customers and non-selling discount buyers. And I have seen some MLM companies add this to their income disclosure statement, but not many. The article continues with talking about the reported growth between 2010 and 2017. It was only increasing on average of about 2% annually, while the annual increase in the U.S. gross domestic product, or GDP, is 2.8%. Even with one year better than the other, the industry was losing in terms of the number of sellers and growth in the GDP. The article does have a full breakdown of how the author and his co-author analyzed the long-term evolution of the industry, so of course I will leave this link below. No doubt, the DSA runs around Washington, D.C. telling anyone who will listen, particularly those in their congressional caucus, that is a very important industry. No doubt, those 6.3 million sellers in the US are running around highlighting the MLM business opportunity, and no doubt, for now, investors in public MLMs will shrug their shoulders, at least until margins start also going south. Whether admitting the decline or not, the DSA data showed an industry at a low mark since at least 1992. Should the opportunity present itself, regulators may want to consider both the viability of the MLM model and, more importantly, how it gets marketed by MLM companies and their selling agents. I do think that this article is a really great read, so I highly recommend that you take a look at it. The next topic we're going to go over is brought to you by one of my patrons. Thank you so much for sending me this article and this news. And I will be going over the press release about Melaleuca opening up a new distribution location in Kansas City. But before I do that, I want to make it known that in my opinion, I think that Melaleuca is an MLM company. Anytime that I've mentioned Melaleuca in the past, I've had plenty of reps tell me that it's not multi-level marketing. So I started to wonder, where is this idea coming from? Because the income disclosure statement for Melaleuca seems to be a multi-level marketing company. It mimics that of a lot of other income disclosure statements. Along with that, Melaleuca is listed on the DSA website. And the FTC even sent out warning letters to Melaleuca this year for income claims during the pandemic. This was listed under the article on the FTC website titled, FTC sends second round of warning letters to multi-level marketers regarding the virus-related health and earnings claims. Well, this idea of it not being an MLM company might be because the CEO, Frank Vandersloot, constantly says it's not multi-level marketing. I did decide to go on Google and just kind of search around a little bit, and there are plenty of articles out there talking about how Frank is always defending the company and saying it's not a multi-level marketing model. In my opinion, I do believe that this is a very similar concept to that of when MLM companies have the question of, is this a pyramid scheme listed under their FAQ page? Along with large group awareness trainings like Choice Center, for example, which I just recently covered, but they have on their FAQ page, is this a cult? That is an actual question that they have on their website. So that seems like a little bit of a red flag if you ask me, but maybe I'm wrong. In this press release, they do make it a point to make a mention of how many jobs they are going to create when they open up this new facility. That will definitely make some who are unaware of the harms of the MLM business structure think that Melaleuca is almost something of a savior-like type of a company because they're going to bring more jobs. Even the governor, Mike Parson, seems to like the idea of his company opening up as well. But let's get into this press release. Melaleuca expands operations with 500,000 square foot distribution center in Kansas City. Largest online wellness shopping club in North America will invest $35.5 million in Kansas City. December 17, 2020. To better serve its customers and speed up the delivery of its world-class health and wellness products, Melaleuca announced plans today to open a 508,000 square foot distribution center and warehouse in Kansas City, Missouri. As a manufacturer and online retailer of over 450 exclusive health and wellness products, Melaleuca will invest at least $35.5 million into the facility and create more than 200 jobs within its first year of operation. Melaleuca expects the facility to be ready in early 2022 after completing an extensive retrofit of the plant formerly owned by Harley-Davidson. I'm not going to go through the entire press release because I will leave that link below for you to take a look at it. But one more thing that I wanted to just share from this press release is something that Governor Mike Parson said. "We are proud to welcome Melaleuca to Missouri," said Governor Mike Parson. "The company's creation of over 200 jobs is great for our state, and its dedication to health and wellness in a time when our citizens need it most is to be commended. We look forward to seeing Melaleuca grow and succeed moving forward." So this is why I said before that they really made it a point to talk about how many jobs they're going to be creating, because a lot of people are struggling during the current times that we're in right now. And the governor even said that himself. So I mean, you guys let me know what you think of that press release. Again, everything will be linked below. Editing Monica here again. So here is a portion of the video where I'm going to talk about this Herbalife update. So the title of the article says, "Paper about Herbalife-related patient death removed after company threatens to sue the Journal." The paper was on the Journal of Clinical and Experimental Hepatology and removed "Slimming to the Death, Herbalife-Associated Fatal Acute Liver Failure, Heavy Metals, Toxic Compounds, bacterial contaminants and psychotropic agents in products sold in India. Herbalife has been criticized for the accuracy of their claims about health benefits and also for the presence of lead and other toxic ingredients in several of their products. The Herbalife Wikipedia page lists hospitals all over the world that have reported liver damage in patients using Herbalife products. The paper, now removed by the journal, describes a case report of a young woman in India with a BMI of 32.1, obese, who consumed Herbalife slimming products. According to the now removed paper, India is the fastest growing market for Herbalife products. The woman bought the products at a nutritional club that was later shut down by the government of Kerala. After 2 months of using the products, she developed jaundice and was admitted to the hospital where she was diagnosed with liver necrosis. Unfortunately, the young woman died while on the waiting list for a liver transplant. Herbalife analysis in the now removed paper. Since the authors were unable to obtain the remainder of the slimming products from the family for a toxicology analysis, they bought similar Herbalife products from the same seller in Kerala, India, and from online stores. In total, 8 products were subjected to gas chromatography, mass spectroscopy, and other methods for chemical and microbial analysis. The chemical analysis detected heavy metals including cadmium, mercury, and lead, as well as other toxic chemicals in all 8 products. In addition, 16S rRNA gene sequencing revealed a range of bacterial contaminants in most of the products. If we move on to the criticism and legal threats by the company portion, the first author, Cyriac Abbey Phillips, along with several professors working with or at Herbalife or associated companies, then requested that the journal should retract the paper because of a lack of evidence. The authors were asked by the editors to write a scientific rebuttal to the concerns. Both the Herbalife concerns and the rebuttal were published in the journal, but subsequently removed. Then a law firm threatened legal action, upon which the journal decided to retract the paper with no clear scientific reason. In a breach of COPE guidelines, and despite the fact that the article had been assigned an issue number, the original paper was completely removed by the journal. The publisher removed the paper and then replaced it with a short retraction notice. Quote, "This article, which was published in March to April 2019 issue of the Journal of Clinical and Experimental Hepatology, has been removed at the request of JCEH's editor-in-chief and the Indian National Association for the Study of Liver, INASL, and JCEH no longer support the content of and conclusions drawn in the article because the scientific methodology, analysis, and interpretation of data underlying the article were insufficient for conclusions drawn, and with its removal, the article can no longer be relied upon." End quote. Then it goes on to say money wins, science loses, and there was an update as of today of Herbalife responds to this particular article. And I will leave this link below because it is kind of a long letter. And the author says, "The wording provided by Herbalife actually does suggest the paper got retracted for non-scientific reasons, so I am not sure how my writing was incorrect, but added for legal reasons." You can form your own opinion about this article, but I did want to bring this to the table because I think that it is interesting to talk about these types of things. But let me know what you think about this article. The final topic that I wanted to go over is that of the Forex education MLM called Tradera that recently shut down. I don't have too much information on this, only because when I tried to check out the website both yesterday and today, it keeps popping up with an error. The website won't load or anything like that. The only thing I have right now is something that someone posted in my anti-MLM Facebook group that says, "Dear valued members, we regret to inform you that Tradera LLC is ceasing all operations effective immediately." So yeah, that's the only information I have. This honestly should be a warning to other MLM reps that these companies can shut down at any time, because now what? I really feel bad for the reps who lost all of their money, because according to some videos that are already out there on YouTube, no one has gotten paid, and it looks like allegedly no one will. And I know some people might not feel bad, and that's totally fine. You're entitled to feel however you want to feel about this. But we have to remember that some of these reps, they're not scammers. They were just indoctrinated into this alleged commercial cult. So that's all the news that I have for you guys today. You let me know what you think of everything in the comment section below. And if depending on when I get this video up, if I get it up before the holidays, happy holidays and Merry Christmas to those who celebrate Christmas. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and I will see you guys next time. This is Monica reporting to you live from a highway. Bye.